Hi, my name is Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at India funds, key investor contacts, and fundraising targets. And if you're looking to raise capital in India, this is the perfect resource for you to start with. This database provides direct insight into 2022 to 2024 Indian funds and fund managers that are actively raising or deploying capital, giving deal makers a clear path to the right investors at the right time. To be clear, this is the who's who of India capital and fundraising. This is the ultimate institutional investor database. If you've watched previous videos of mine, you know that I have over 400,000 global capital contacts, and this is a rare database of institutional grade investors. Now, for the first time ever, this powerful resource is available for you to access capital like never before. So, India Fund Investor Database components. This database contains 480 funds and fund managers, 6,200 key investment contacts, 4,300 emails, and it includes funds raised in 2022 to 2024. We're going to get to the spreadsheet coming up a little bit later in the video. So some of the key database fields include contact names, titles, investor type, location, geographic preference, website, email, sector specialization, investment strategy, and fund descriptions. Some of the top fund strategies that are in the database include venture capital, that could be seed, startup, early stage, growth, late stage, buyout, private equity, 3, real estate, core, value add, opportunistic, distressed debt, 4, infrastructure, 5, direct lending and private credit, that could be senior debt, mezzanine, or distressed, 6, special situations, 7, secondaries, 8, fund of funds and co-investment, 9, natural resources and energy, and 10, hybrid multi-strategy funds. So why this database matters? As I mentioned in the first slides, this is the who's who of India capital and fundraising. It's a very rare and exclusive database of the most hard to access contacts in the Indian fundraising ecosystem. Now, usually if you have to acquire databases for fundraising, whether you're an investment bank or you're private equity, a lot of times you need to subscribe to a large package at one of the top 3 or 4 leading suppliers, and that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars a year on a yearly subscription. You can't generally acquire a smaller section like India or something from maybe the Middle East or Asia. You have to buy this large package and then drill down. So what I've done is I have a large amount of investor databases that are institutional, and I've taken care of all that for you. So this resource provides direct access to the professionals and funds that control billions of dollars in capital across private equity and venture capital. Now, the India one has 480 leading funds, 6,200 key fundraising professionals, and it's an exclusive and hard to access one-of-a-kind database. It's built for serious fundraising efforts. Think of this as 3 of the top databases in the world all combined into one. And it's perfect for those seeking to raise capital in India across real estate, startups, and private equity deals. So why target funds raised in 2022 to 2024? When you see the spreadsheet coming up, you see that this database is large and it has historical funds that have been raised even as far back as 2007. But what I do is I look at 2022 to start for a reason. One, the deployment cycle. Most venture capital and private equity funds begin deploying capital 6 to 12 months post-close, meaning funds raised in 2022 and 2023 are actively investing in 2024 to 2026. We're in the middle of 2025 right now, so it's a perfect timing. Secondly, dry powder availability. With a typical 10-year fund's 4 to 5 year investment period, capital will remain available until 2027 and beyond. So even next year and the year after, this database is still going to be really helpful for you. So the active window, 2025 to 2028, is still prime time. Because many of these funds are still going to be allocating to new deals. Remember, they're raising $100, $200 million, and they're looking to invest in seed capital. You know, they could be doling out funds, $500,000 to $1 million apiece. So there's a lot of funds to deploy. Now, that could change by regional nuance. For example, Middle East funds, especially family offices and sovereign-linked investors, often operate on more flexible timelines compared to traditional Western GP and LP structures. So that's why the 2022 to 2024 cohort of funds, the strongest targets are founders seeking capital today. So let's take a look at the database. Just a quick key database disclosure. Now, my extensive database provides hundreds of thousands of global contacts, typically including profiles, emails, websites, though not all details are complete. Primarily compiled and updated from 2021 to 2025, with most of the updates in the last 2 years, this corporate resource may include contacts whose roles have changed. So it's designed as an excellent starting point for outreach. It's best leveraged and continually refined by organizations with dedicated data teams. Keep in mind, this is not for spamming. This is a database to do deep research in your sector, drill down to the exact contacts that you want to reach out to, and then customize every email for that. So this database comprises a blend of individuals and companies, each with distinct investment criteria and operating conditions. So there's no guarantee your approach will be favorably received. Note, this database is available to corporate or institutional grade groups only, no personal sales. Okay, we're over on the master database spreadsheet, and I'm going to start off by showing this first before we get over to the filtered database, so you can understand where the major data starts and how it gets transferred and filtered into the smaller database. So simply put, there's 99,214 funds in this database. We go up to the very top. You can see on the left hand side we've got the name of the fund, the background, so all these funds, no matter when they started, are going to have a short description which you can use to do filtering, or which I use to do filtering to find more suitable targets. For example, on this one here, this random one, it says O1 Ventures is an early stage fund managed by O1 Ventures. The fund makes investments in deep tech companies across Europe. So that's just one example. So obviously you could start off filtering from the background or from other columns that you're going to see. You're going to have the year of the inception, the asset class, so you can see it could be real estate, it could be venture capital, it could be private equity, strategy of the fund, it could be real estate core if it's in real estate, it could be distressed debt, early stage, co-investment, growth, and so on. Primary region, because this is a global database, you've got most of the major areas here. Then you're going to have the status of the database. It could be open, closed, raising, the fund size in millions. The fund manager, of course, is very important because that's one of the key database components. Fund structure, core industry, and from core industry you can also look at in industry verticals and then verticals, so you can drill down to those 3 columns. Makes it a lot easier for you to do your selections, and then you're going to have to broaden out some of your reach to increase your targets. Domicile, where it's added, the date it was added, so you can see here there's a fair bit of information. You're going to get the region that they specialize in, and then of course the address and contact details. The email for the fund will be info at, contact at, that sort of thing. And then if I scroll a little bit further on, you're going to get more information about the particular funds. So that is the master database of the funds. Now let's take a look at the contacts in the master database. So if we go down, you can see here we've got 412,000 total contacts. Again, this is a massive database of anyone who's the who's who in all fundraising on a global basis in the world, updated mostly in the last year. Now, we start off with, you've got the fund manager, you've got the firm type, you've got their name, their title, the asset class that they're responsible for. For example, there could be 4 or 5 people in one company, and you can drill down to whoever you feel represents the asset class that you may be interested. For example, it could be infrastructure, natural resources, it could be real estate, it could be private equity, venture capital, whatever the case may be. Then you're going to get their email. Now there's around 270,000 emails in this database. Well, what happens if you don't have an email? Really simple. You just take their name, copy it, paste it into LinkedIn, and then you're going to get their details. So it's very easy for you to make contact, either directly for email, or you can go to the website and find out other contacts, or you can do direct approaches on LinkedIn. So that is the master database of contacts. And now let's go to see how I use this database to filter for smaller databases. That could be country, it could be individual sector, and that is going to help you when you're making your contact list for outreach. Okay, now that we've seen the master database, let's take a look at how I filter down to the next part. So basically, from this point, I'm looking at India, and I'm looking at funds with an inception date of 2022 to 2024. and then we come up with 400 and looks like we have 481, and you can see we go back up to the top. Name, background, inception date, asset class, strategy. So this is the same as in the master database. Then we go to the contacts, and again we have 6,200 contacts. Now the reason there's more contacts is because the contacts go wider than just funds. They could be venture capital, they could be private equity firms, they could be real estate investment, there could be a number of different categories that go outside of just being a fund. So you've got the firm name, you've got their name, you've got their title. Now in this particular case, you've got 6,200 contacts and 4,300 emails. So lots of targets. Again, if you don't have a particular email, as in this particular case, simply just punch their name into LinkedIn, and it's easy to match up their name with their current position. This database has been updated in 2024, so most people of course keep their LinkedIn addresses for quite a while, so you're not going to have any issues there. Now they also have a lot of other ways how you can contact these people. You have their phone number if you wanted to go that route. So this is a great resource for you if you're looking to raise capital in India in 2025 and beyond. For more information on my databases and fundraising services, click my Fiverr link below. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.